Hello, San Diego and beyond. We're here to share all the treasures that we've got. There's a pirate in the master's chair, ready to pilot us on this magical affair. Share your story, share your word. Spread your joy, let your voice be heard.
Fearless. The dictionary definition of fearless says, the absence of fear, or to exist without being vulnerable to intimidation. Although that sounds great and everything, this blonde's got a new definition for you, Wikipedia. To me, fearless is not the absence of fear. It's not being completely unafraid. Fearless is having fears, having doubts, lots of them. To me, fearless is living in spite of those things that scare you to death, but jumping and living every moment to the fullest anyway. My name is Brittany, and up until 2 years ago, I was absolutely terrified to share my story with anybody. Never mind standing on a stage in front of a Spanish room full of hundreds of people I've never met before. But right now, I'm going to share it with you, and I hope that it inspires you and makes you fearless too. I was born with a rare, life-threatening condition called craniosynostosis. It's tough to explain, but basically when I was born, the bones in my head, they grew much, much quicker than a normal baby. The wonderful doctors at Children's Hospital were able to create a plan with my family to save my life. After much thought and planning, they were able to trim down the bones in my skull to prevent them from crushing my brain and possibly creating mental delays in my future. Although the operations did successfully stop the rapid bone growth, and I lived, my condition still affected the shape of my face and caused me to have an unusual appearance growing up. My eyes were never aligned. I had an underbite that stuck out so far that I was never able to bite into an apple. I had to cut all of my food before I ate it. As you can imagine, I grew up looking so much different than all of the other little kids around me. I remember kids in elementary school pointing out to me and saying, "Why do you look so weird? And what happened to your eyes?" And telling me that I looked so different. And they were right, I did look so different. It always made me feel flawed and self-conscious. Even though I was always the girl with her head up, smiling and making everybody laugh, inside I thought that because I looked so different, that I would never be able to fit in. I remember always wanting to fit in. It was my dream to be normal. A couple of years ago, we were blessed to be put back in touch with Fresh Start. The wonderful doctors and nurses that work with Fresh Start were able to take over where the surgeons left off when I was a baby. And they worked together to create a new plan for my facial reconstruction. After 4 huge operations, they were unbelievably able to crack my upper jaw, move it forward and align to my bottom jaw, and they even reconstructed an entire floor under my left eye. I was blessed and fortunate to find such an incredible group of people to stick with me and my family through these operations. They weren't just doctors, they actually cared about my family and I. When I was in the hospital recovering, it was really tough. This is where it gets graphic, guys. I remember laying on a hospital bed. I had IVs in both of my arms, and I had a huge bloody bandage wrapped around my head like 8 times where the scars, where the incisions were. And I could barely open my eyes because they were shut, so they were closed and with dried blood. And I remember thinking, why God? Why me? Out of all of the people in this world, why did I have to be the one who was cursed with craniosynostosis? Little did I know, a few years later, I'd be able to realize that my condition was far from a curse, but a wonderful blessing that I was born with for a reason. Throughout this whole process, I've learned so much. Even though I look a lot different now, I don't have an underbite, and my eyes are much more aligned than they were before. I've realized that who you are inside is what makes you beautiful. Everyone who truly loves you will love you for who you are, and not your ability to bite into an apple. Maybe your teeth are crooked, maybe you're really tall or really short. If you're short, you can wear really cute heels. Maybe your skin has scars, maybe you're 30 pounds heavier than you want to be. But those 30 pounds, those crooked teeth, your abnormal height, and those scars on your skin have made you the person that you are today. No matter what happens, I'm never going to be perfect, and I'm always going to have flaws. But just because one person puts you down and tells you that you're not beautiful in their eyes, doesn't mean that there aren't millions of people out there who think that you're wonderful just the way that you are.
Hello, San Diego and beyond. We're here to share all the treasures that we've got. There's a pirate in the master's chair, ready to pilot us on this magical affair.